Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope everyone is doing better than fantastic. In today's video, I want to reflect a little bit on my last video, as there were some great and touching comments that were left. As it was and is a very emotional video. It was very emotional for me to make. And from the comments it appears it touched you emotionally as well. But there was a comment that when I read it I knew I had to talk about it. As it's something that I've actually talked about before and I will talk about again and again and again. As long as there is air in my cartoon lungs. And that topic surrounds around the title of this video. And the comment that was left by a subscriber. And basically the comment stated that when you have a family or when you are married with and to a narcissist, you are tied to them for life. And this is the thing that really gets me. Because you have this person. It could be you. It could be me. And they are tied to this narcissist by marriage. Maybe they've been married for 5 years. And in that 5 years they have 2 kids with the narcissist. And in this entire time, they buy into the brainwashing. They think they can make it better. They are hopeful when the good days come around. And they hope they can make those good days stretch into more good days. But we now know that isn't true. This person, that could be you or me, is in a fog really. We don't know which way is up or down for that matter. But then we find this information right here. And we try to get away. You know. There are a lot of counselors out there. But only a select amount that really and truly get it. And I say that to mean. By all means. Get professional guidance and help. Please. But make sure if that is the route you choose that you pick the person you go and seek help with very very carefully. Because there are some that will try to make you think you are just attached. And this and that. Not understanding the full scope. Yes. True. You indeed might be attached. But something happens to some of us that figure this stuff out. We get to a point where we finally truly get it. And we know we need to get out. But now we are trying to untangle the legal web that has been wrapped around us. Here's an example. A great many musical artists sign contracts thinking they will be able to do a certain type of music. But if the person that owns that contract per se says you are going to sing this kind of music and these kinds of lyrics, even if these lyrics are against your morals and values, and if you don't do as I say, I will sue you into a cardboard box. Well, it's easy for many to say. Just let them sue you. And I agree to not sacrifice your morals and standings as a human being. But I have a question. Are those people that are telling you to let yourself get sued into a cardboard box? Are they going to help you out at all? That's right. Likely not. And this is what can happen when someone hits the end of the road with the narcissist and now they know they want out. And they are seeking help from a friend or professional counselor. Not in all cases. But in some cases. They are told to just up and leave, and if you don't up and leave then you must really want to stay. And that you shouldn't worry about the finances. And this and that. When they aren't going to be putting a roof over your head and food in your mouth. And they aren't going to be there when you lose the rights to see your son or daughter over a lie the narcissist chooses to tell. And this is why a great many people feel tied to these terrible individuals for life. And it goes to the question or the title of this video. Why do narcissists love marriage and having families so much? It's because they know that they have a great shot at being tied to their supply forever and ever and ever and ever. You see, society talks and talks and talks about donate some money and end abuse in the home. And they show someone with bruises. But what they won't do is ask people like us what the root cause of it all is. And how to best deal with these types of matters. Because not all abuse ends in bruises. People can get psychologically mistreated from the day they can walk and be a mess by the time they are an adult. So much so they can barely function in society. An example of that would be my narcissistic golden child brother. And all the bad things that happened between us aside. I feel really bad for him. And I weep for him all the time. Yes. He made a lot of terrible choices. And there is no excuses for it. But he went through some bad stuff. I did too. But when I wipe my eyes, I ask God, why did you pull me out of it? And then I thank him for pulling me out of it. But the fact is, this type of abuse and mistreatment doesn't always take the form that you see on a billboard or in a commercial. It's not always the thing that you hear about on talk shows. Now yes. Sadly those things do exist. And are horrible. But there are millions that have been abused and no one speaks about it, and it goes on and on and on. And guess what? People get trapped as a result. Narcissists love marriage and having families because it legally. And I want you to hear me. It legally makes it hard for their target to be able to escape. They are worried if they will lose the rights to see their son or daughter. They are worried about their son or daughter being turned against them. Will they lose their home or car? What if law enforcement get involved and the narcissist lies to them to get you in trouble? All of these things are possibilities. And each year, divorce rates rise. And marriage and births drop. Why? Because people are catching on to the fact narcissism is everywhere even if they don't know the term. And they know by getting involved in such a commitment. If that person they pick switches up on them midway through and all of the goody nice treatment was all a lie, guess what? They are stuck. And they are going to have a hard fight to get out. And guess what? That is a fight the narcissist wants. Because they will get to suck on your premium supply while you wither away into nothing. In such an instance my father didn't make it through, let's just say, as his body gave up, I believe because of the stress. And all of this is important because the evil ones, it seems, have taken over marriage and having families. No. Not everyone that is having families and getting married are evil. But it sure seems like those that want to do evil sure have an easy go of it in the institution of marriage and in the family setting. This is where standing up and speaking up is important. I've said it before and I will say it again. If you made marriage and having a family fair in the legal sense, to where no one really came out the winner, so to speak, and no one came out the loser, so to speak, you would see narcissists start to distance themselves from these two institutions really quick. And the reason why there would be nothing for them to gain at all. And again, I sound like a broken cartoon record, but this is why channels like this, not just mine by any stretch as there are a lot out there, but this is why these channels are important. Because the more these channels gain traction, the more we can address things like, has anyone noticed? It seems like people are just getting divorced these days and families are all broken up and there are a ton of miserable people. Some are faking to be miserable. Those would be the narcissists. And then there are those that are really miserable. And those would be the targets of the narcissist. But I just want to say, the person that left the comment, I hear you. And I understand you. If you are stuck, work hard to get out in the safest and best way you can. But I also understand every situation is different, and not understanding and acknowledging some people are literally trapped in these situations would be wrong. We need to talk more about this so some sort of change is made. Because it's easy to say, well, don't get married. Oh. Okay. But what about the people that already did it? Look. A great many people got married hoping they could have a family and they were with someone honest and decent. And sadly it turns out they were wrong. And just because they were wrong, It doesn't mean they should be trapped and their life should be over. It makes me sick good people are scared to get married and scared to have families. But the narcissists, they are overjoyed. They are like as if they are in a candy store. And you are trapped to all of their manipulation and mistreatment and evil ways. Unless you are able to get lucky and get free. Some has to change. And the more we talk about things, the more we can hopefully make that change happen. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.